Hey, I guess this is working. Seems to be. Let me adjust this a little bit. Kind of moving a lot of stuff in my room around here. Um, the whole point to this particular video is to share with you some of Bob Murphy's books. So, for any of you who haven't watched any of my clips before, because I've talked about them so many times and shared so many clips with him, I'm actually his admin on his fan page, which I'm going to be working with him on building up. But I wanted to share, this is his latest book. It is Shadows Behind Soft Words of Love. And the interesting thing for me in particular about this is, let me get grab it to the back. Showing off my mess to the entire universe, no problem. But the whole point to this book was he had actually, from looking at his estate and going through a lot of different, rooms and closets and such, he found pretty much. Oh yeah, and the beer is back, by the way. I don't have the little curls at the bottom, but it's good. But he found in this particular box over 200 plus song lyrics that he had written in the mid 90s. And the funny thing is a lot of the stuff that I had written and that the bands wrote that I was a part of did most of our things in the mid 90s as well. So it's pretty interesting seeing, his retrospective of the mid 90s from being over in the UK as an Irishman. And then me being in America as an Irishman after so many generations in America. So I don't have the accent anymore. Every time I think about it, though, and I'll catch myself once in a while using language that I'm like, where'd that come from? It's these books are great, yeah. not an accent, but it's a way to phrase things. But Paul Murphy is my idol when it comes to so many things. I mean, not just his musical works, but his writing as just an author in general, poetry and everything else in between, pretty much. But this particular book here it's right up my alley because it discusses a lot of, it's kind of like a matter, darker type of song lyric book that you'll find. And you can ask anyone that I, used to play with back in the day and write songs. And, it was a running joke, Bill, are you going to write any happy songs? But this, it's just so, unique that him and I found each other, and this is one of the things that he did. His hard copy of this is out now. It wasn't when I got this, which only took like 2 days to get here. But in all seriousness, this might very well be his last book. And it's very insightful. Insightful to, which a lot of his works are, insightful to his own life or someone else's life. There's a lot of, authenticity in Paul Murphy's writing that, some people just write things to write them to make money. And that's why the music industry is the way it is today. It's just, well, how many people are catching this beat and this and that. And I mean, and that's fine, that's good for them, But Paul, just like myself, was always, and Pat, was always about the storytelling behind the song. What is the song actually trying to say? What is it representing? And a lot of times we write songs in a way that hopefully most people can relate to in one way or another. And Paul Murphy, excels at that, but he also excels at being very direct. And, this song is about you, He does a lot of social commentary type songs. And, he's not new at this game. He's been doing this for so many years. So if you are an aspiring, I mean, I'm past my time myself now, but if you are an aspiring songwriter, if you are an aspiring lyricist, a, writer of any kind, you're going to find very useful things if you go and you watch, the thousands of hours of Paul Murphy videos that he is so graciously gifted all of us with online for free. The most I ever learned about songwriting, even though I've written, hundreds of songs already myself and with the bands, was from him. I realized of his, which was Dust and Sand. And it's one of those long narrative storytelling. Paul's a master storyteller. But the thing is so many of his works are grounded in truth. Just because something is a story does not mean that it is not true. So I want to share that with you guys. That's out, for sale on Amazon right now. Let's see. I also wanted to show you, now this is one of his past books, Poems for My Children. This book is so important because there's so many awesome, quick poems that you as a parent, or maybe you're an older brother, you're an older sister, whatever the case might be, but you have a very quick way of telling them a story just by reading this book. There's so many incredible poems. And Paul was the type of father who, would leave a note, in the kid's lunchbox, and stuff like that. And so it's this entire book is coming from such a place of love and understanding and fatherhood or motherhood or whatever. He said himself, when you look at these things, please use them to tell your child from your voice in your own way these tales. And I think that's a wonderful and beautiful thing. And so I want to share, this is the hard cover edition. And I was fortunate enough, he actually signed mine. He sent me this himself. And when you buy Paul Murphy's books, when you support Paul Murphy in any way whatsoever, these two children are who you are actually giving your money to. It's his two children, Dylan and Emily. And, you're just not going to find as, more of a fine couple of kids as these two. And watch his videos because there's so many incredible moments that he shares, involving these two. But this is where your money's actually going. Paul's not getting a single dime of it. There's a trust fund set up for these two. And when they reach, the age, then they're going to inherit that. And I'm all for that, 100%. So I just wanted to share those with you. And I hope you all are doing well. And I'm still not looking at the camera. But this is my first time on the laptop doing this. And don't mind the mess in the back. I've been trying to get this thing straight. And just as a funny note, Pat and Rick, especially, and even Jay, might remember this beautiful piece of machinery behind me. It's still there. I'm still sitting right in front of it. So, y'all have a good day, and I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah. All right. See if I can figure out how to turn this off.